Over in the space of Marvel Comics, the publisher recently wrapped up their long running Krakoan Age of comic books over for the X-Men. However, certain elements of Krakoa are still lingering across the X-Men's publishing line. The mutant known as Apocalypse has ascended to the mutant's terraformed version of Mars known as Arakko, and this leaves an absence of Apocalypse on Earth. My name is Arakko Brannock, and today, let's go ahead and witness a tournament of succession for the Heir of Apocalypse in X-Men Heir of Apocalypse issue 1. Before we get deeper into the video, I want to encourage you to consider subscribing to the channel and hitting the like button over on this video. For centuries, Apocalypse tested the mutants of Earth to guarantee that only the strong would survive. Now, as he takes his throne on Arakko, another must rise in his place and ensure the mutants of Earth do not grow weak in his absence. 12 mutants chosen from the X-Men's greatest heroes and villains will compete for the honor, but only one can become the Heir of Apocalypse. X-Men Heir of Apocalypse 1 is written from Steve Foxe, featuring artwork from Netho Diaz, inks from G.P. Mayer, colors from Alex Sinclair, and letters from VC's Clayton Cowles. In addition, here I really love some of the characterization that cover artist Dotun Okande was able to implement over on the debut on X-Men Heir of Apocalypse 1. Also, I want to give a quick shout out to Adventures in Poor Taste and preview some of Netho Diaz's artwork in X-Men Heir of Apocalypse. Over on this opening page, it was so interesting watching these tourists preview Egypt at just the moment the Succession tournament is about to begin over at the publisher here. I really think Netho Diaz is able to capture so many disparate figures over on the page and give some really strong reaction shots as well. Also, want to go ahead and spotlight this next page that finally starts exploring two really interesting cast members in our Succession tournament, really covering the characters of both Rictor and Mirage. This issue really put a spotlight on the fact that the character of Rictor has a really special relationship with not only Mirage, but Apocalypse that's seemingly very close to his heart. In fact, it even seems like Rictor is willing to risk some of the elements of his relationship over with Mirage to ensure that he will become the heir of Apocalypse when all is said and done in terms of the tournament. Elsewhere here, there was a great conversation and relationship dynamic over with Gorgon and Penance. These are two characters that I never expected to see play off each other and was really happy to see such an emphasis not only from Netho Diaz, but in terms of the scripting from Steve Foxe on the issue as well. Ultimately, for me, it doesn't feel like Diaz's art is really able to capture the true scope of what Steve Foxe is able to implement over in this script. I just think the strong attention to characterization and relationship dynamics really elevates some of the material over in X-Men Heir of Apocalypse. Another really strong element of characterization that I really want to make sure we mention before we close out the video here is some of the relationships between Apocalypse and Angel. Given the fact that Angel was a Four Horseman previously, I think Steve Foxe did a wonderful job putting this relationship back in context and introducing some of those additional elements of characterization that make this series such an interesting opportunity for the X-Men characters. Late within the scope of the issue, seeing all of the mutants in the Succession tournament gathered together was so much fun over in the comic book page. I feel like we're in for some really fun plot dynamics and relationship elements in future chapters of the comic book tale. Lastly, the cliffhanger for the issue did an excellent job introducing one more member of the Succession tournament and just dialing up the stakes of the issue twofold. So at the end of the day here, I really think that Marvel Comics X-Men Heir of Apocalypse does a wonderful job following up on some of the loose ends over on Krakoa while advancing the individual character relationship for Apocalypse. It was also super cool to see Apocalypse guide some of the mutants through the Succession tournament, whether it be characters like Rictor or Angel. I want to know from you, what did you think about this fantastic issue of X-Men detailing so many relationships and also touching on a potential heir of Apocalypse? Thank you so much for coming to check out our video review over on X-Men Heir of Apocalypse issue 1, and we'll be back to find the winner of the Succession tournament in the months and weeks to come. Thanks so much, and I'll see you soon. Bye.